Names Manchester United have been linked to signing in January have mostly been disappointed, with Donny Marlon, Guirassy and Timo Werner among the three names most commonly linked by the most reliable sources. But could they actually be signing someone good? Could they be signing a good star from Nice? Ahmed Ratcliffe coming in and his connections to Nice. They've been linked to Thuram, they've been linked to Todibo. There are some reports right now that Manchester United are interested in pursuing a deal for Thuram and actually having talks with the players. We will dive into that. We will dive into the transfer news. But then I want to talk about sort of the media lies going on at the moment. The transfer outs, we'll talk about who's expected to leave. But the media have been lying and saying a lot of reports on Casemiro that are not true. I've spoken to someone about Casemiro and I know that loads of stuff that was put out is a lie. And some reliable sources have put out that all these reports about Ten Hag and Casemiro falling out is all lies. So we will dive into that. We will dive into news on Ten Hag's future, which again is more media lies. And then we'll dive into the Liverpool game, who's available, who's not available, Ten Hag's press conference and more. So essentially we're going to expose media lies in today's video and then get into the transfer news, takeover news, general news. So in terms of transfers, it was said that Calcio Mercato reports that Juventus attempted to acquire Thuram but were unsuccessful. Juventus are now worried about falling behind Premier League teams that are interested in him. It said that Liverpool, Man United and Man City are reportedly in talks with Nice regarding the 22-year-old. If Manchester United is generally interested in Thuram as a potential replacement for Casemiro, there's hope that Ratcliffe's influence could help secure a deal for the player. Now in today's video I'm going to talk about Casemiro. A lot of reports saying he's going somewhere in January. I've been told he's not going anywhere in January. I've been told his relationship with Ten Hag is absolutely fine. And a lot of media is making out that he's had a fight with Ten Hag, he's fallen out with Ten Hag, he's out of favour, this and that. I know that United have interest in Thuram. I know we have interest in the Nice players. But I don't think we're in talks with the guys. I don't think this is the most reliable source. And I think if we're going to sign anyone from Nice, it will be Todibo. Fabrizio Romano's confirmed our priority for January is striker and centre-back, not midfielder. So I think if we're going to go for a Nice player, it will be Todibo. I think Todibo is one to keep an eye on. If Nice are willing to sell him in January, potentially look at him. I think with Thuram, I think Liverpool have been more focused on the guy, but I think they switched for more of a number 6 now. I think he's one to keep an eye on because of the Nice links, but I think United's focus at 6 is still Amadou Onana. So while Thuram's a good player, who's dropped off a little bit recently this season, I don't think there's much in this Thuram story, but keep an eye on Todibo. Now, one transfer I do think there is something in is Guirassy. It's obviously been confirmed by a lot of people that United are interested in Guirassy, and Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Guirassy is on Manchester United's transfer list ahead of January. Now, to be honest, his statistics are brilliant. In 1,044 minutes, he has 20 goal contributions. That's nearly, I think that's like 1.8 goals per game, which is crazy. But you've got to remember this: £15 million. Yeah, it's a bargain price looking at stats. But this is the first good season he's had. This is the first time in 27 years he's overperformed his stats. He is in the Bundesliga where it's easier to score. The defenses aren't as tight. And you also got to remember he doesn't bring much more than his goals. We've been complaining about McTominay. Yes, he scores, but he doesn't help the team. And people even complained about Ronaldo, said yes, he scores, but he doesn't help the team. People complained about his 20 goals. But Guirassy doesn't help the team. Yes, he can score, but will he be able to score at United? Is this a purple patch? That's the risk. Does he help the team? If he'd been scoring like this for 5 years, bring him to United, even though he doesn't help the team because he's a proven goal scorer and need goals. But I think it's a massive risk. I'm not saying no, and I'm not going to be mad if we sign him for £15 million because I think that's a decent deal. But I think we might as well save our money and then invest it in Todibo. I want to sign someone that is actually in Ten Hag's 5-year plan, Ratcliffe's 5-year plan, rather than someone coming in as a quick fix to help Hoyland. Now, we're going to get into the transfer outs because this is what I particularly want to talk about, all these Casemiro rumours. But the Mirror have reported that Martial, Varane, Casemiro and Sancho are just 4 players Erik Ten Hag is willing to cut ties with as soon as the January transfer window opens next month. But then Simon Stone says there's no interest from PSG and Casemiro. He's become more important to United since his injury. And I want to talk about this. And obviously Fenerbahce and Inter are interested in Martial. Varane could go, but that will happen in the summer. Sancho will go, Martial will go, Donny van de Beek will go. Maybe Casemiro leaves in the summer. There's a lot of reports that Ten Hag's keen to offload Casemiro. Now, from what I'm hearing, those within the club internally kind of interested in getting rid of Casemiro because of his wages. But that's not Ten Hag. And the media are kind of making it out that Ten Hag and Casemiro have fallen out. We think that there's probably some kind of squabble between Ten Hag and Varane. There was a squabble between Ten Hag and Ronaldo and Ten Hag and Sancho. But he's not fallen out with Casemiro. I know that from someone I've spoken to. I know that because reliable sources said that as well. Ten Hag has had no fallout with Casemiro. Ten Hag sees Casemiro valuable for the next 18 months and will plan to offload him in 2025. But he could go in 2024 if his form does not pick up and a good offer isn't there. But there's no fallout between Ten Hag and Casemiro. And Simon Stone is saying, look, Casemiro is not for sale. The Mirror, all these media reports putting out that Casemiro is for sale and he's falling out with Ten Hag, this and that. And I'm just going to say simply, it's not true. There are reports that he's upset, and that he did make a comment, Ten Hag, again in the Brentford game, about we took Casemiro off to play no football, which, yeah, took Casemiro by surprise. He didn't like that he made that comment. But at the end of the day, when Casemiro was subbed off and McTominay came on, McTominay went from 1-0 down to 2-1 up. McTominay won us the game. So Casemiro was like, well, at the end of the day, it worked. He subbed me off, it worked. I can't be mad. Casemiro is a top professional. He's happy at United. He's got an interest from Bayern. He's got an interest from PSG. But he's happy at United. He sees himself being here for the next year and a half, helping the project. Potentially, if a big offer comes in summer, United are open to offloading him because of FFP, because of balancing the wage bills. But yes, there might be something going on between Varane and Ten Hag. Yes, we know there's problems with Sancho and Ronaldo and Ten Hag. But I know there's no issue with Casemiro and Ten Hag. And it's sort of this media agenda pushing it, because the media kind of want Casemiro gone. Certain people want Casemiro gone because he's on high wage, and they're pushing this agenda that he will go. But in fact, Ten Hag sees Casemiro as a very valuable player, and I want to relay that information to you guys. And while people are saying at the end of the day, does it matter how Ten Hag values Casemiro? Because you know what? Ten Hag might not be here much longer. Well, again, I think this is media speculating about Ten Hag's future. I said this in my video 2 days ago. I said this in my video yesterday. I said the really reliable sources with inside information are saying that Ten Hag's future is safe until Ineos come in. And then when Ineos come in, he might be at risk because Ineos like Potter. The less reliable sources I would say, no, Ten Hag's going to go, Potter's being looked at now, he's going to be sacked with all the January window, and listing all the managers we're looking at, including Zidane, who will never come to United. Now, the Mirror and a few sources have spoken out today about Ten Hag's future, and it seems that they're changing their tone. There was loads of reports that he's going to be sacked, he's not wanted, he's not good enough. Then the reliable reports come out and confirm, well, actually, we've got an interim CEO, he's not going to be sacked. And now everyone's changing their tune. So is Ten Hag's future actually safe? Well, Fabrizio Romano said that it is for now. And it is for now. Even if we get backed by Liverpool, he's not going to be sacked until at least the end of January. This is what's been said. Ten Hag believes to have time to show figures within the Man United boardroom that he's worth keeping around. It's believed that he continues to have the backing of those above him. It was then said John Murtagh has no intention of firing Ten Hag, while interim CEO Patrick Stewart is not empowered enough to make such a major decision. It said that Erik Ten Hag is expected to come under great pressure at Manchester United if they lose badly to Liverpool on Sunday, but well-placed sources say his position will be viewed as weaker if they suffer a third successive defeat at Anfield, but he will stay in charge ahead of the West Ham game, and that the current hierarchy at Man United have no plans to change manager, and there's no approach, even loosely, to any potential successor. So Ineos like Graham Potter, but Ineos will come in, they will change the structure, they will assess Ten Hag's position, and if it's really, really bad, then someone like Graham Potter may come in. But from what I've heard, from what the reliable people are saying, it seems that Ineos are willing to give Ten Hag to the end of the season to prove himself, see if they see something to back Ten Hag in the summer, sell the players he wants out, bring in the players he wants, and then go from there. That's what I believe. I think if things get really bad and Ineos are here by about end of January, he could go in February. But I don't think they want to bring an interim. I think it's more give Ten Hag to the end of the season, then they assess, unless things get really bad. I don't think he's going to be sacked, even if we lose 7-0 to Liverpool again. I think that's just media speculation. Ten Hag himself also spoke on his future and asked if he felt they had a backing. And he says, I feel I have the backing and they tell me that. That's fine, that's okay, but I'm focusing on the process and making the team better and making these individuals better. I think that Ten Hag generally has the backing. I think he's concerned because I think the way he's playing players that are proven goal scorers to win games rather than implementing a long-term system. But I think Ten Hag knows that because there's CEO interim Patrick Stewart here who doesn't want to make any major decisions, he's probably safe for the next month or so, but he's got to prove himself, because if he doesn't prove himself, Ineos could come in and sack him in February and he might not get to the end of the season. But there is a feeling with those in United that Ten Hag will get to the end of the season because they don't have the money to back him. But last but not least, I do want to cover a quick bit of Liverpool news. It has been said that Harry Maguire will not be available for the coming game, but it doesn't think it's a long-term injury. Luke Shaw trained this morning, so he should be okay. Rashford will be back. Martial won't be back. So at least that's two players likely back for the Liverpool game, which I'm worried about. I will be doing a match preview to Man United Liverpool tomorrow morning. So make sure you subscribe for the preview where we'll talk about my lineup, the predicted lineup, who's available, what to expect, and dive more into what Ten Hag said in his press conference. But listen, people, please do hit that like button if you haven't already. Of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, takeover news, transfer news, all of that, subscribe. I'll be back with a preview, might be back with a late night video tonight, be back with a few bits of content. But this video was more just exposing the media lies, because there's a lot of fake information in the media right now. And you know, on this channel, we report everything that's been said. said from good sources, bad sources. And once we report what's been said, we say on this channel whether we think that the news is credible. We say on this channel whether we think the news is BS. I say, look, this is what's being reported by 6 sources, but I'm hearing something from another source that I think is more trustworthy. We say how it is on the channel, what I think is true, what I think is not true. Ten Hag is safe for now. Casemiro is not falling out with the manager. I think at United we get a lot of fake news. Anyway, smash the like, smash the subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.